fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again. Or something like that.
Yeah, and then something about George Bush's Bush.
Hello and welcome to Drop In, Drop Out, the show where a mix of gamers discuss everything going on in video games. And on tonight's show, we're going to be listing out our favorite Metroidvanias from the early to late 90s. You know, during the only time in history that genre was ever relevant. Psych! This episode's all about lying. While it is true about the whole relevancy thing, we won't be discussing those dumb games. We're going to be doing a deep dive on the most egregious lies developers and industry folk have ever passed along to gamers. Class is now in session because I am your favorite trash professor. That's right. It's another one of those episodes because the dumpster boy is in charge once more. And joining me on today's episode, she's got spunk, she's got a funk, and she once volunteered to castrate a Tibetan monk. One half of the dynamic dumpster duo, Jerica Hannah. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. I am excited to buy one of those hats. I'm probably going to buy the one that you got because I do like the Evil Dead. And I want to match it. Before we started recording, I was talking about how small my head is, and Kamen's got a small head. So we're not only the dumpster duo, I guess we're the dumpster head
Two
size
small head
duo.
club. Two small head club.
Just
yes.
two little heads, you know?
Two little heads. Just fucking, we're two little heads together.
We got little hats.
Rounding out the trio for this evening, he splits his time as the only member of Dido who actively hates maps, and the rest of his time as a Tibetan monk. The one and hopefully only Jordan, a cognitive Clips Ricks. Jordan, good to have you on tonight's show.
Good to be here. I was telling, we have not been on content together in forever, any combination of me with either of you, so I'm excited to be here, to be eviscerated, to maybe cry and hug a little bit. Who knows? We'll see.
You know, no, you're not. I think that's the last joke. I think that was the last joke that I've got.
Well, lies are also upsetting, just on a baseline. And,
Yeah, there's some lies. There's some lies. Look, and tonight's episode is all about lying, and I will be doing a lot of it myself throughout the evening. And I would hope that you too. Chat, why don't you drop your favorite lies? Just make them up. Tell your favorite lies about each cast member. Go ahead and do it. Would love to see what you have. At the end of the show, best lies wins. Let's do a little housekeeping. Here's the thing. Tonight's episode is fucking jam-packed. I spent multiple hours meticulously crafting a script around 3,000 words long. I'm going to be talking so much, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to last this whole episode without passing out. So why don't we jump right in? Let's get a little housekeeping going and get the show on the motherfucking road. If you like what we do here, then you can get more of it by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Drop In Drop Out Pod, or by searching for Drop In Drop Out in your favorite podcast app. And hey, you can be on the show by tuning in live as we record Thursdays at 8:30 Eastern on twitch.tv/Drop In Drop Out Pod, or you can go back to Tuesdays. We do it at 8 Eastern at Drop In Drop Out Pod, so be sure to follow us there so you're notified when we are going live. Doing housekeeping, Jerica, I'm going to start with you. What was old JK Games up to this week?
I have no clue. I was off.
Hell yeah.
They were playing something talking about books and movies and games, I think.
Yeah, it was
Jordan,
I think
you could probably help.
I believe it was comparing the story structures and stuff like that between books and games, so it was cute. They had the two.
Sorry, I was just I can't tonight. Thank y'all. I trust y'all. Have fun.
And they said, finally, it's book o'clock.
Yes, the readers. They finally got to push out the one that can't spell or read, which was nice for me because I didn't do any of that night. I didn't read anything.
I mean, here's the thing. I can't read at all. What I'm lying about right now is that this script that's 3,000 words is just complete gibberish. It's just straight up just nonsense. There's not real words listed. I can't read them anyway.
Question.
Dido.
Is there any reference? Because I'm just in my head, and I don't really have a frame of reference, honestly, for why you said it, and I really don't understand it, but it just comes into my head. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, maybe, or just something about George Bush and his bush. I know I keep bringing it up. Can I just like hear that quick? Is that in this at all?
George
like
Bush's
something you
bush.
lie to me twice. I'm George Bush's bush or something. What do you say?
It's I think the line goes something like "Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again," or something like that.
Yeah, and then something about George Bush's bush.
Look,
and
I think it's like
I want that tattooed on me, so I'm gonna write it out next time you say it.
It's supposed to be.
Favorite.
It's supposed to be "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I won't get fooled again," or something like that. But George Bush just like W, cut it. And he was like, "Fool me twice and won't get fooled again," or something.
Yeah, there you go. That's the line. That was a good one. I love this new thing where it's like you can call my panties as 9/11 because underneath it is all bush. So.
And hot thighs melt steel beams. So.
Ooh, coming in with hot thighs. We're going to talk about some hot thighs later tonight. We didn't do anything on Tuesday. We took a break, one because Patrick needed to get rest. I needed to get rest in preparation for this. So nothing really happened Tuesday. We're going to be back next week. We've got a bunch of crazy shit happening next week, so get ready for that.
We did do
anything? Yeah.
We did some Solar Punk co-op, me, Josh, and Kayla on Tuesday night. So that VOD should be incoming at some point.
I was asleep. through that whole thing, I bet.
And that's okay.
Cog, you got anything up your sleeve in terms of an essay? Anything you're working on?
Ooh, yes, I do. It's right up here next to my bicep. It is, I got a code for Constance, the Switch 2 edition. So I have wrapped that up and I'm trying to just script that on out. So here, in the next week or so, probably. But yeah, going to tackle the kind of how it handles the mental health themes and stuff in Constance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love to hear that. Can't wait for that. Jerica, you've been working on some new stuff. How can the people at home support Dido from their couch?
Is it like talking about merch? Is that the segue to merch? Yeah, we got cool merch coming. If you like spooky season, Halloween themed things, you should pay attention to us more. Redoing the site, I'm hoping to do that when we launch the new shit, but it might not happen.
Very cool.
We got some cool stuff coming.
Can't wait.
But
we do have some cool stuff. I've gotten a sneak peek of the cool stuff. Before we get into everything else, and you guys should, when the cool stuff drops, we'll make sure everyone's alert of this and go and enjoy.
It's going to be limited. We're not going to have it up like forever, obviously. It's going to be something you can only get for like this period of time. So pay attention. I'm done.
Cog made a joke that I didn't hear, and I'm going to let that slide, Cog. Whatever you said.
No.
Let that slide.
No, Patrick got me.
Well, that's Patrick's job here. All right, so just before we go and get into class, because class is about to start, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to some people in our chat. We got P-Schwag, we got Kayla Gray, Adoringly Renault 3, we have High Score Weekly, Heroic Headgear. I saw Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper in the chat. That's the code word for Dr. Sir Jim. Travman, and much, much more out there cooking off in chat. Very excited. So I hope you guys are ready.
Starting us off with a stroke. I love it.
Look at me. I'm kind of a walking stroke. So, you know.
Yeah, you are, big boy.
Yeah, watch what's going to happen next. All right, let's get this started. On a normal night, a normal episode of Drop In, Drop Out that I would be hosting, I would begin the episode by doing a history lesson covering some vast array of deep lore, or pulling random and wacky statistics out of my ass. Alas, tonight will not be one of those nights. During my research for the show, I realized that it would be way too difficult to find some level of synergy between video games and lying. It's true, much like Cole Phelps, the lead protagonist of the underrated LA Noire, I hit X for doubt, when I should have hit Y for lie. Then again, it would be pretty on brand for me to M. Night Shyamalan this shit and immediately drop a depressingly thorough research paper on the psychology of lying. Who am I kidding? I can't lie. I wrote a research paper tonight. So buckle up, shit's about to get weird, okay? In a podcasting first, I will now turn to the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 4. Cog, you're gonna love this. Quote, "You will surely die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil," end quote. And for you, those of you unaware, that it was the devil tempting Eve. Yes, ma'am.
Could you say that one more time? I want to write that down. I might need to reference it later.
Oh boy, you want? Okay.
Yeah, I do. I want that again.
Just here. This is great. Just Genesis chapter 3, verse 4.
I don't have a Bible.
Just Google it. There's Bibles online.
I want to Google it. I want to hear you say it. No.
All right.
Then fine.
Shit.
Don't do it.
I'll do it again. One more time. Are you ready? I can't do it more than once. You will not surely die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Said that way too fast for her to be able to do that.
I've got like 80% of it, so we're almost there.
That's good. That's all you really need to know about the Bible is about 80% of it. The rest of the 20% of it is just Deuteronomy.
Doo-doo.
That was a Bible joke, guys. For those of you
it was
unaware,
a good one. That was a good
Bible
Bible joke.
one, I know. For those of you unaware, that quote was the devil tempting Eve with a forbidden apple, a biblical reference that roughly 2.4 billion people on the planet believe to be the first instance of a lie ever told. Now, for that one guy out there that's entire personality is based around 2000 cinema, the invention of lying would occur in the film by the same name, The Invention of Lying, where a still popular Ricky Gervais tries to convince everyone that in a world where no one can lie, he can still bang Jennifer Garner. Patrick, wherever you're at, I fucking drop that joke. It's just only for Patrick. No one else understands it. Now, in a world of shit talkers and bullshitters, lying is more than just a random occurrence. It's a fact of life. Hell, our president figured out how to convince half the country that he wasn't a giant fucking buffoon, even though he stared directly at an eclipse on live television. And now I will do a brief shout out to all of our European listeners. I hope you all burned your eyes out too, because you guys just got an eclipse. And none of you apparently know any European news.
Well,
uncultured swine.
I was letting you speak. I've seen it. Someone did like a went up a half pipe, did like I think it was like an Olympian skateboarder, did like an ollie or something off of a ramp, like right in front of the eclipse. It was awesome.
I take back my comment about being an uncultured swine.
I am a swine, but I have some culture.
You know what? We'll let you have that one. So the question is, what exactly constitutes a lie? Steve Webster, owner and founder of Webster's Dictionary, states that a lie is to make an untrue statement with intent to deceive or to create a false or misleading impression. Or, in the words of the patron saint of lying, St. Augustine once said, quote, "The essence of lying is in deception, not in words. A lie may be told by silence, by equivocation, by the accent on a syllable, by a glance of the eyes, attaching a peculiar significance to a word, and in countless other ways." End quote. That was also a lie. St. Augustine was the patron saint of kitty diddlers. That was also a lie. He's actually the patron saint of alcoholics. No one's going to question that one. For this episode, we will be leaning on
one,
both
right?
the deception of it wasn't a lie. The deception of the word for survival, for lies, for the most part, are broken down into three major categories: survival, trickery, or entertainment. Now, this brings me to the thesis of tonight's show. While I know I can be long-winded, at least I'm not talking about the Last of Us franchise right now, am I right? Fuck you, Patrick, out of again! X. Yeah, that was the one. I was waiting for that one. Got that Last of Us joke in there. Tonight we'll break down into three segments. Now, here's the thing. No one on tonight's episode outside of myself knows anything about what's going to happen next. So, this episode, I am going to go over three types of lies with all of you. Developers and publishers who lied for the sake of selling games and/or consoles. Games that have built-in mechanics designed to fool you into believing that isn't true. And lastly, playground lies to entertain friends and family members alike. So why don't we start off with those scummy bastards that sold us falsities to steal our monies and begin tonight's show with scummy devs and publishers. Are the two of you ready?
As I'll ever be.
All right, here we go. Now, Jerica, are you locked in?
I was just drawing Kirby, but I'm listening to you. It helps me listen, though, drawing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even though I'm looking down, I don't you think I'm just like... But I did write that quote.
I want you to repeat that quote back to me now.
You will surely die when we know... And that was basically the first lie ever told on Earth.
Yeah,
Eve and Satan or something like that, right?
That was pretty good.
That's my
Let me tell you.
version.
Let me tell you about the first lie told on tonight's episode. No, that's not the first lie told on tonight's episode. Multiple lies have been told on tonight's episode. But let me tell you about a big lie. It was the year 2005. E3 was still a thing, and Patrick hadn't yet got his Brazilian butt lift. On the Sony stage, Guerrilla Games showed off the first look at Killzone 2 on the PlayStation 3. The world was in awe. A game could look like that? No, it definitely couldn't. This was a lesson to all of us, as we would learn 4 years later when the game dropped on the PlayStation 3, and all of those beautiful, beautiful pixels were now hidden behind depth of field blurs and a dust-choked color schematic that would go on to define the entire existence of every FPS game of that generation.
Accurate.
Guerrilla Games comes on stage. They show off Killzone 2. Did you guys watch this live? I watched this live.
I don't think I did, or if I did, I don't remember it. My brain is mush.
PlayStation 3, right?
PlayStation 3.
Yeah,
Killzone
I didn't
2.
care. I was in high school. I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't watching out. I didn't know that stuff was happening, but I love consoles, and I was there day one for PlayStation 3 and picked up that game because I thought, oh, cool. PlayStation 3 is going to be the best console of all time. This looks fun. I like Call of Duty. This should be great, right?
So, the truth is about Killzone 2 is, when it dropped, it technically was like a visually nice looking
I didn't
game.
think
Like,
that.
Really?
Yeah,
Would you pick
it's
it
like
up
the
day
same
and date?
emotions I had when I played Super Mario Sunshine. I played that game and I was like, this looks like garbage.
Wow.
I was like, my
I don't think-
PS2 looks better than this.
I don't
right
think
now.
the world agrees with you.
I'm a
But
different breed.
Here's the thing, though. The trailer is like what you would see on the PlayStation 4. And what we found out was, come to find out, this is all bullshit. Just straight up bullshit. None of this is an in-game engine. None of this was ever going to make it to the game. There's no way that the PlayStation 3's hardware, which we will discuss in depth here soon, could put out what is being shown in the trailer. It just absolutely could not. Even Naughty Dog wasn't going to be able to pull that off with the likes of like Uncharted 2 or 3. Like, this is just not going to happen for years. And they sold us a lie. We sat on this for 4 years, guys, waiting for this particular game to drop. And when it came out, just an absolute fucking rug pull. One of the first of many rug pulls that I think will happen in the games industry along these lines, but this one was kind of setting the precedent of like what you could pull off at a place like E3.
Here we go. This is what I noticed, even at a young age.
Tell me.
Killzone 3 launched on the PS3. Many players reported that it did not support 1080p output. Instead, 480p or 720. Blech. This was due to the game's native resolution being 720p and the PS3's hardware not having a built-in upscaler.
Mm-hmm.
Any upscaling had been done by the developer.
Wow.
I just remember it didn't like the other games I was playing on my PS3 at the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was a disappointment. So definitely I could see the grounds for people being like, wow, this isn't what I got for me anyways.
What killed me about Killzone 2 is I remember to zoom in you had to click in on like the left analog stick. And that feature alone was like, I can't do this. Like the buttons were so fucking like and you couldn't fix the control scheme. That was beside the point. Killzone 2, and I will stand by this, that I do feel like Killzone Shadowfall, highly underrated. Guerrilla would redeem themselves later, and they can actually now make games that look good, but back in 2005, when they were showing that off, straight up liars. Cog, do you have anything you want to ask or any details you want to share about Killzone 2 in your life?
Killzone, dude, that was one of those franchises that, like, I did have a PS2 and a PS3, but we never got into those for some reason. I think we were just on the Call of Duties in the household, you know? Because that was right around the same time as Modern Warfare, I believe. 05?
Yep, I would have been right around the same time. I was a big Killzone Mercenaries fan on the PlayStation Vita. Patrick and I, we were the 8 people there. It was just Patrick, myself, Greg Miller, no shirt. Don't know if he had pants on. Traumatizing
That's his
memories.
business. That's his business.
That is his
not ours.
business. Let's talk about another type of business. A business that, well, let's just say still exists, and many don't want it to. Oh, Randy Pitchford, you paisley-laden douchebag. Oh, how you have scorned gamers time and time again, only to try and appease our boiling blood. If you thought the mismanagement of the Duke Nukem franchise, wait till you hear the truth behind that absolutely hated game. If you just thought that was dog shit, well then guess what? There is another game called Aliens Colonial Marines. Now, Gearbox Studio would go around to conferences showing off a vertical slice of Aliens game. By all accounts, was going to relaunch the franchise back into the stratosphere, but Gearbox wasn't the actual developers. No, that would fall on the secretly and actively hard at work Timegate Studios. Now, when Colonial Marines dropped on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, the backlash was immediate and fierce. So fierce, in fact, that a false advertising class action lawsuit was filed against publisher Sega and Gearbox. While much came to light during discovery, Sega opted for the easier route and settled out of court for $1.25 million and pushed all of the blame on Pitchford and his lackeys.
My goodness.
Jerica,
Yeah?
I know that you hate Randy Pitchford. We've had many discussions about this.
Hate's a strong word. I try to say I don't hate anyone,
Right.
but if there was what's the word like right above hate or underneath? Like
Loathe.
loathe?
Despise.
Despise. Yes. I can't stand him.
What about magic tricks? Do you like magic tricks?
No, I don't.
Well, then you don't like Randy Pitchford. That's all he's got, is magic tricks.
Lies and magic tricks.
Lies and magic tricks is fucking...
Like, I'm sure you have
detest.
more to add to this, but like I know it's just obviously I'm not familiar with. I really wasn't into the Alien IP up until sort of recently because I've never seen the movies, and Audrey was like, "Why haven't
Really?
you watched the movies?" And I was like, "I don't
Damn.
know, it just missed me." All right, yeah, I guess I remember seeing them when I was like super young, and it freaked me out seeing the little baby coming out of the throat. Like, one of my parents was watching it, and I was like, "I hate that. That's scary."
Did you just say the little baby?
Yeah, it's like a little baby, right? Like a fetus.
That's fair. I guess
Alien
you can-
baby thing. It's
Yeah, it's like
tongues.
the chest burster thing.
No, it's just a penis. It's just a penis mouth. Little
yeah.
mouth penis.
Saw
Yeah.
that at a young
okay.
age.
Gotcha.
So never into it until recently when I watched the movies finally, which excellent. I know, surprised Sigourney Weaver. You know, the movie's my jam. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Did Cog? Did you play Colonial Marines?
I did not. I've played some other, Randy Pitchford joints, of course, but not Colonial Marines.
Let me tell you a little bit about Colonial Marines then. Colonial Marines, obviously first-person shooter, but Colonial Marines launched with one big problem. The AI was busted. And when I say busted, let's put it this way. There was no tracking. So if an enemy were to come up to you, there was no tracking to the player. So enemies in a game like this, where there's Xenomorphs, the alien, running at you, they wouldn't run at you. They would just wander around aimlessly, and you could just
I've
shoot
seen-
them like
okay.
fish in a barrel.
This is that game.
This is that game, yes.
I have seen that where it's just like the xenomorph is just like it's like over there, like in the corner, like completely in the opposite direction of the player. Yeah, that's hysterical.
So, like, not only do they release a game that's so broken that, like, there's no challenge to it because you can just pot shot enemies from any distance. You can just walk up and hammer fist them, you know? But they were going around showing off a demo of this game. There was just a chunk of the game pulled that was actually working. So just imagine this moment of just this hype level is going outrageously high, right? And then they just turn around and are like, here's a game that doesn't fucking play. Like, honestly, I would say more busted than Cyberpunk, I believe.
That is a big statement.
I'm just reading through. Sorry, I'm really interested in the fact that there was a lawsuit because
Yeah.
it was so bad. So that's what I'm like reading through right now.
It sets a precedent.
I mean, surely since then there's been more games that have been maybe like, you know, let's go to court over this because it's just so falsely like advertising what it is to the point where who's taking him to court though? How did you get? Who's doing what here? Because like I just feel like I just can't go to attorney and be like, hey, I want to sue this game company for falsely accusing. Like, something. I'm just asking, theoretically, if I felt this strongly, like around Super Mario Sunshine, could I just do it?
Sue Nintendo.
Yeah,
So here's the thing: is they sue for false advertisement, do class action lawsuit, and I believe it was just like this one guy who's just really fucking mad. But the truth is, like, this kind of did set a precedent of being like, if you show something that is so unequivocally terrible, like, or you show something that looks incredible and then it comes out and it's unequivocally terrible, like, you have lied to us to get our money. Mm-hmm. And a judge agreed that yes, that was indeed the case. Sega decided, we're just gonna settle this shit outright. Fuck it, like, not gonna dive too deep into that and then they just basically go, we should have had hands on this. We're sorry. Randy Pitchford's a fucking piece of shit. And then everyone else in the world is like, hey, guess what? Randy Pitchford's a fucking piece of shit. Don't worry, he'll come back up later tonight.
Did you know? Sorry, go ahead, Jericho.
Listen, funny. Me and Audrey were talking about Randy again last night because I booted up Borderlands 4 one more time. Mm-hmm. And a lot of things have been performing much better at launch. I think we all played a little bit and like some issues, especially from the PC side of things. And like when I just went down the rabbit hole of Randy, like just dogging PC gamers and, basically blaming the gamer for not like knowing how to soup up your PC to play this game. Right. And it's just so hilarious. The links he went to explain how basically, what kind of graphics card you need to have and you need to be able to figure out your own settings. It's just hilarious. But all the facts God, I wish I knew this now because like I just love the fact that literally Randy, and I'm sure at some point there's been lies before this. Was there any earlier lies from Randy Pitchford before this? I don't know, but I'm sure.
There's a lot that goes back to when he was part of, it was Doom, the developer, id. He was part of id, and then his like branch off studio, I believe, did some DLC pack for Doom. And he basically rode the coattails of like id Software by being like, I did all these things and blah blah blah. And that's kind of where it like got him success. It was just all bullshit. Like developers that were there were all like, this guy's wasn't good, He's the kind of guy that seems like he fails upwards a lot, and I really don't like those people.
White people? White men specifically?
Like white men specifically.
Yeah. Speaking of white men, actually not really.
Please.
Did you know that there's that movie Yesterday that came out a few years back? Do you remember this one? Mm-mm. I never saw it, but the premise is that this guy, like I think he is a musician of some kind, knows guitar and all that, and he wakes up one day and like nobody in the world knows who the Beatles were, like they never existed, and so he basically starts like peddling the Beatles songs as his own. But the trailers featured one Ana de Armas, because she was on her like the start of her upward trajectory as she should have, but she was cut from the final movie, and so at least two people like again sued the company for like, we came to this movie to see Ana de Armas and she wasn't in it. And I think they actually did settle out of court.
That is incredible.
I'm pretty sure.
Power to the people. Power to the people. I want to talk about someone, and you can't do a list of lies, right, without talking about this person. And it's everyone's favorite autist, Sean Murray. If you don't know Sean Murray, the head of Hello Games. And we are going to have to go back in time for this one to unravel the galactic failure of No Man's Sky's launch. See, the lead developer, Sean Murray, he was quickly caught up in the fervor of the spotlight, and he would find himself at many conventions and panels discussing the big and full of shit promises that No Man's Sky would provide gamers. Now, it did fair to him, I believe, that a lot of what he explains later is that he got caught up in the moment and didn't want to let people down, so he just said yes to everything. Now, it is important to point out all the things that didn't show up in the launch of No Man's Sky. These promises included, but are not limited to, multiplayer social features at launch, base building and settlements, planetary variety and ever-changing biomes, space fleets, freighters, vehicles for planets, and that is just skimming the top of the list. No Man's Sky launches a bare bones, bareback butt balls kind of game, if you know what I mean. Now, Murray would come out later, like I said, and he would basically explain, like, hey, guess what, guys? I found out that I'm autistic, and I am definitely not the type of person to be in charge of going in front of people. And the good news is that they learned from their mistakes, and they went on a redemption arc. But this was a moment where I believe there were like one of the first times Sony was actively giving refunds for digitally purchased games.
Correct. I did refund it at lunch.
Yeah, it was that.
I was one of those.
Bad.
It wasn't bad. It just wasn't what I wanted.
It wasn't. Well, it wasn't what we were told it was going to be either.
Yeah, I mean, granted, like it's one of those things. This weird gray area I have where I could give some grace to it. I wasn't mad about it. It's just like I just thought I would get more out of this, and we could have a whole conversation about the beauty of a demo, the beauty of a demonstration. Have somebody be able to try your game out, which at the time, different type of situation, but yeah, it was one of the ones they allowed for refunds, and I did it, and then I re-downloaded it, played some more, and it was a different story.
Yeah, I mean, the version of No Man's Sky right now is a completely different game than what was launched. I actually remember Patrick, I think Patrick either bought a copy or was borrowed a copy from someone. And he was like, hey, I played it, not the game for me. Maybe you'll enjoy it. He brought it to me, and like 3 days later, I was like, here's your copy back, Patrick. I don't want this in my house. This is not a game. This is not a game. This is not a video game. One of the other things that he said was that no two players would ever be able to meet because the galaxy was so vast. And then, like, the next day, two people met, but they couldn't see each other, which was even funnier. Cog, did you ever get into No Man's Sky or in the redemption arc of No Man's Sky?
Both, actually. I got it pretty close to launch, and even though it wasn't what was promised, it was still, I got some enjoyment out of it. I think it was one of those early games of where, like, I could really just kind of lose myself in with, like, trying to balance, working full time, going to grad school, newly diagnosed depressive, like, all this stuff where I was like, I can just zone out, travel the galaxy, just let the time fly by and not even, like, think about anything anymore. So it was, even though it wasn't anywhere near what it was today, still a welcome escape for a bit. Okay. So I'll give it that. But
I like to be lied to.
I don't.
That's your kink, isn't it?
I always wonder how often this probably happens when there's not like a bigger, like, you had a game where you were presenting on like the PlayStation showcase floor, basically, because like it was a PlayStation thing, and like I just couldn't imagine the pressure of everything. Like everything you meant that he mentioned that will be in the game eventually made it to the game, which is pretty cool. But like, it just sucks when you probably have to make these announcements for like shareholders and stuff. So like, I don't hold it against him as like Sean Murray as much, because like eventually they made it, and like that rarely happens. And I just think a lot of pressure, to your point, like when you shared it, was like put on him, and that game was just set up for failure. Like I don't blame the studio for that. Like, and there's no telling like how often that happens to smaller developers that get some funds because their idea is really cool, and it's just like push it out as fast as you can and say all these things like we'll work it out if it's not there at launch. Like it's just crazy. The whole story of No Man's Sky is so fascinating.
It's worth throwing blows, but to your point though, there's a great YouTube documentary about the rise, the fall, and the rise again of No Man's Sky, and like it is really interesting hearing him basically talk about like, we did, like, I lied to people because I wanted people to be happy and excited. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, that's what happens, I guess.
I mean, and to their credit, too, it's been, what, I think they just celebrated their 10 years, right? Was, like, just this past week or so. Every update that's been done for the games in these past 10 years has been free.
Yep.
Like, the only reason that you would have to pay more money than you did at launch is if you, like half of us, sold the game back at some point and then you need to rebuy it. Like the the updated versions that released kind of went back up to like closer to full MSRP. But like, if you owned the game, you never had to pay another cent to actually get the full game that it is now. So yeah, that's something too. One could argue that it should be exactly what it was done after all the lies, but still nice that he committed to it.
Definitely set in motion the fact that games can come out undercooked. And I think it sort of like said like, ooh, look, this thing can still be okay. Even it did this, and that now that we're on that, and it sucks. Like it sucks for a lot of people involved, and including our pockets. But I'm glad they turned around. I'll have to check out the documentary. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I'll dig it up for you. I think this is a perfect opportunity to segue into something that never got a redemption arc. It never followed through on the promise that was set before it. Let's go back in time to when Killzone 2 was launched in October of 2025. Or sorry, October of 2005. A fucking year. Sony Computer Entertainment president Ken Kutaragi would go into the public and spew a lie so profanely absurd that it still holds the candle for the most technologically unadvanced statement of all time. That lie? The PlayStation 3 would play games at 120 frames per second. Oh, it wasn't just a lie. It was a deeply rooted in mythical levels of bullshit that only this next sentence can give it enough weight for this to make sense. PlayStation 3 games struggled to sustain a native 720p resolution and barely could hold 30 frames per second. Not just because that's an absurd thing for the time, no. It's also because the PlayStation 3 was so horribly designed for efficiency that games could barely be developed for it at all.
That was a shitty time.
This boy, homeboy straight up walks outside his front door and just goes, the PlayStation 3 will be 120 frames per second. Like, where did you pull that out of your ass, my man? Killzone 2 was what? 480? 480p? Like,
if I had to guess, Kamen, he probably pulled it from the Ilium.
I mean, oh man, that was bad, Cog. Get out of here. Go home, Cog.
The silence afterward, that was perfect.
Go home, Cog. You're Coke Zero drunk. I can't.
You asked where in his ass he pulled it from. It was from the Ilium.
Fair.
So
that is from the fair.
Don't ask questions you don't want to answer.
Does say, shout out to Ken Kutaragi, father of the PlayStation. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. Fathers also lie. My father said that he was going to come back after going to the gas station to pick up milk, and guess what? Never came back. Never. Actually, it would have been better if he didn't come back, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Cherokee, you had a PlayStation 3. You played Killzone 2 on it.
Yeah.
Like, how bullshit is this?
I was reading about, that's the reason, I remember sort of vaguely, the reason I wanted the PlayStation 3 was because of, the upscaling and the fact that this was, the next HD console. Because that, was a big thing with Xbox 360. It was, just HD, 1080p. It was so cool. Right. And, I remember just, that game specific. I said Killzone 3 earlier, which, funny enough, they also still had issues at launch. But Killzone 2 it was the same issue. Even with this game, was confirmed to have 1080i resolution and in addition to its primary 720. Who corrected earlier and reported the game would only run in 720. It's just it not only is the 120 whatever conversation, but it just looks like the at launch and even through I feel towards the end of the PS3 life cycle, I started playing more games on it, but it had this weird situation where, I don't know what was the brains of it, but we even know to this day, the online community, the online support system of the whole OS for the PS3 was just dog shit. Oh, and I don't know why. And it's to your point, they said all these amazing things about it, and I just only touched it for Uncharted and The Last of Us when it came out. Those are the only. I'm sure I played a few others, but I just remember it not looking great when I played on PS3. The games didn't look like they did on my Xbox 360. Yeah. That's when I went to Xbox for a while.
I was a late adopter to. I went from the Wii to a PlayStation 3. I was a late adopter to it because it was just so fucking expensive. Mm-hmm. And I will say that
I had the fat one. I got the very first fat one still.
Yeah.
Backwards compatible.
Hell yeah.
Hook that bitch up.
Like,
if anything, it was backwards compatible with
at the
it
end
is
of
with
the
things.
At the end of the PlayStation 3's life cycle, like, it wasn't a bad console. You know, it wasn't bad. Like, it was for its time. I mean, you could play Blu-rays on it. You know, you didn't have to, like, Xbox 360. A lot of games you had to play 2 discs like this was a PlayStation 1. Like, we didn't have to do that on the PlayStation 3, and that was great. And so I think one of the reasons why he made such a bullshit claim was because most TVs that you could buy at the time had such a low refresh rate that they couldn't even hit 120 frames per second.
I didn't see 120 until, like, I don't know, college or maybe even after. Like, I didn't know that was a thing until I went to our friend late from lunch's house on his monitor. I was like, oh shit, games can look like that? Like, that's like,
I don't even know if I've ever seen it.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Listen, come over. I'd love to show you. Like, I'm obsessed. Like, it's so cool. But yeah, like, that's it, especially at this time. No, who knew about? I just wanted better resolution. Like, I could care less about frames at that time. Yeah, that's funny.
I think that, like,
Okay.
there was something about that era that, I mean, I know that I was, if I wasn't still actively subscribed to EGM or whatever it was, and I was certainly, like, keeping up with some E3 stuff or announcements or whatever, but I just don't remember a lot of this, like, PS3 era controversy. Like, I know that I had one and that I enjoyed it when I had it, and then just like all the other times in my life, the new thing came out and I sold that to pay toward the new thing. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
I think that was a time long gone at this point where I was not persistently online looking at everything all the time related to gaming. And so ignorance was bliss, I would say.
I feel it is apropos that we move to the final lie of the first segment of tonight's show. We've been cooking. We've been cooking.
No.
It's gonna get wilder from here, because we're gonna end the first segment with the most insane lies developers have ever tried to pull. All originate, I believe, with this one man, the king of bullshit himself, a man so ingrained into the world of bold-faced lies, he makes the aforementioned Randy Pitchford look like St. Augustine. That man is Peter Molyneux. More specifically, Peter Molyneux's Acorn. While I could go on all day talking about the unfulfilled promises that this man has made, it's his digital acorn that would become legend. During a famous promotional event for his upcoming game Fable, Old Pete would wow the audience by telling them that all players could plant an acorn and watch it grow into a massive oak tree over time. Not only could that not happen, but that one sentence would go on to be the biggest blunder on his otherwise innovative career. Peter Molyneux, everyone. The king of bullshit. Fable was a great game. We can't deny that Fable wasn't a great game.
I think it was pretty wonderful. I don't think it was the best game that ever came out, but I could tell this was different, and
It's a great game.
I can't wait for the sequel.
Perfect. Yeah, not perfect, but it was a great game. Peter Molyneux, the story goes that people would be sitting, the developers would be like watching him in interviews, talking to people, and would be having panic attacks because he would say things that were completely unfeasible for them to do. And then they would go back to the studio to work, and they'd be like, how the fuck do we do this? And he's like, I don't know. I guess we just don't do it. And they're like, people are expecting this. And he's like, I don't know. Just try to make it work if you can. And then would go out and be like, you could mow grass grows in real time in the game. Things like this, like, just an absolutely, and it started with his, like, first games. Like, he's always been a liar. The man is he has a mobile game that was like, if you beat this mobile game, you win $1 million or something. And then someone actually did it, and they're like, we're not paying you. Like, the man is just a full-blown liar from top to bottom. And we have to give him so much clout because he created multiple genres of video games. Like,
That's insane.
the God Sim exists because Peter Molyneux exists. Also, the
which one was
biggest
that?
liar in the world.
Was it Spore? Is that what you're talking about?
No, Spore is so Spore is one of those games that is mistakenly credited to Peter Molyneux.
Oh, okay. So which one was his God Sim then?
Black and
It was-
White.
That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
I know that name. All right.
Black and White. And another game that he said that you could do things in it that you just couldn't do. Man didn't know how to tell the truth. He doesn't know how to tell the truth. It's wild. Fascinating that
What's he
this
doing
guy-
now?
He's
Lying.
working on his last game. He's retiring after this next game, and I don't know the name of it.
Did he lie about
Something
this
about
one?
Albion. I think Albion
let's
is in
see.
the title. Yeah.
Peter
That's weird.
Molyneux.
He gets away with it because he was like, yeah, I know that this is not Fable, and Fable is called Albion, but it's like an old, ancient name for England, so I can say whatever I want.
Masters of Albion. It's going to be a god game. So he's ending his career, and it
Yeah.
early access. It's already in early access right now. Dropped in April of this year. That is the bookend to his career and a personal redemption title. A personal redemption title. The fact that you have to say that a game is a personal redemption title is fucking wild.
I just don't think I would be. I'm just not that person to feel like I could do that. You know, I feel like at some point, do you have enough money not to do this anymore? You hope at some point you're that good of a liar that like you can squirrel away some nuts.
You're not
acorns.
wrong.
There's a joke somewhere there, maybe.
I
Hello,
just want to
Raiders.
say thank you for Jake Twitchin dropping 20 Raiders in the trap. Good news, good news,
Bees in the
Jake.
trap.
Good news, Jakey Jake.
Bees in the trap.
You've walked into a conversation regarding Peter Molyneux and his little bitty acorns. So excited for all of you here.
It seems like
Jarek
I'm the
is
only
being
person who was let down by that original Fable.
Really.
Yeah, like there was something about it. I think because maybe it was the lies. Like it was hyped up to be this thing that you would be playing for like the next year, basically. It's like, oh yeah, because you're gonna start as a kid, you're gonna grow up, and it's gonna be this whole big long epic adventure. And I feel like you can roll credits in like 6 hours. I was like, oh.
Right. I mean, the game definitely wasn't near the zone, but that goes to the point though of being like. This is just kind of his MO, is that he would just kind of give you drop shit and then be doing something, like
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I have high hopes for the upcoming Fable, and I do think that the upcoming Fable might, from a technological standpoint, might be able to do some of the things that Peter Molyneux claimed the original was going to do. So maybe the title is apropos, that it is Fable again. It's kind of this Fable is actually Peter Molyneux's redemption title.
Even though he's not involved with this one, is he?
Even though he's not involved with it.
That's hilarious.
I just wouldn't make a game if I was him. That makes no sense to me. Like, how are you that out of touch? Like, I just wouldn't feel like a good human. I'd be like, I can't do this.
Honestly,
like, I'd be done.
right.
But maybe that's just not how the guy feels. Maybe not, because there's been multiple lies. Like, we could even go down. I'm sorry, you're trying to move on, but I was just like, I was listening to you while I was urinating.
No, you're good.
And I was like, man, we talked about Milo before, like that whole scenario. And like, I just feel like anytime the guy got on stage, there was something that he was just like fibbing about, like that his things do. What his things do, not that.
Not that.
What that thing do,
That's
Not
just
that
weird.
thing. What
I
is
didn't know
that?
he used to
What
work
that
on a
thing?
game. That's
That's
so
what I used-
baffling to me.
That's what I used to do. I go in the strip club. I throw 5 $1 bills down. I look them straight in the ass and I say, "What that dang do? What that dang do?" That's
Is that
what
what it's like working with him? I just wonder what it's like working with him. Was he a
That's how
visionary?
it-
Did he motivate people? Like, was he a good leader? Like, what happened? I'm so
I don't know.
intrigued. There's got to be answers. I've just never searched for them.
We won't find them. What we will find is the second topic of lies of today's episode. Now, I want to be very specific here when I discuss this. The section's titled "Games That Tricked You," and I'm not saying this from a narrative standpoint. No. We know about twists. We know about turns. We know about big reveals. We know about the fucking "Will you kindly." I'm talking about game mechanics specifically that just lied to you. So let's dive in, and it'll make more sense in a second. We were so innocent and so cursed back in the year of 2014. This would become overwhelmingly apparent when a new horror game would hit the market and set the charts ablaze with resounding sevens. That game would be Alien Isolation. See, the problem with Alien Isolation wasn't necessarily that the game was bad. No, it was more that the developers never told anyone about the hidden microphone that would be tapped into your controller, which would alert the patrolling xenomorph of your location. Now, as groundbreaking as it was, this wildly difficult stealth sections would piss reviewers off to no end. Now, this would happen more, which gave the game a bunch of sevens. Then the news finally broke that the reviewers themselves were just being too loud while playing the game.
What sounds you making when you're playing Alien Isolation?
Heavy breathing. I don't know, background noise, talking, things like that. I think is a situation there. Now, Sears Shard says, was that hidden? It was advertised as a Connect feature. I don't think anyone else was informed of this happening.
Who's listening to people?
Right.
People are lying about that. I feel like they're listening.
The way this game mechanic works is there's a microphone in your controller, and the microphone would pick up any noise around you. And if you were in a stealth section, it would then alert the xenomorph to just attack you. Shockingly, an Alien game that actually has proper AI tracking. But all of these developers were kind of just like playing the game being like, this is way too fucking hard. And it's like, because you guys are just chatting it up. All because of one not so advertised game mechanic.
Pretty innovative.
Don't know.
But yeah, it's a...
Why? I feel like that would be a selling point for this game. I didn't pick it up at launch, so I couldn't partake in like the how did you learn about this feature on your own. Did y'all know about that when you picked up the game for the first time?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever pick up on that as you were playing?
No, not until well after. Not until one after. Sirius says, were there microphones in the Xbox 360 gamepad when it launched? I don't know. What I do know is this feature was not available on PC. It was only consoles. So it could have been the Kinect or something like that would have picked it up. But yes, I had no idea that this was a feature, and those sections were incredibly hard. And I think it was 100% B, and then go on later. Now, there's faults in the game, and I'm really excited about the new one coming out.
Me
and
too.
I think that, bringing this feature back is a great idea. Just tell people next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I would like to know, so I don't oh shit, when I'm scared, don't scream. It's a fun multiplayer experience where you can't scream when there's jump scares. Also, I tried to play Alien Isolation recently, and the game, I got to the part where you go into the command center where everybody's joining up to meet, and everyone just is frozen, and the game just broke. So I was at that point, I'll wait for the sequel.
Yeah,
but now I got the biggest thing spoiled for me. The alien can hear me.
Well, like I said, hopefully they'll advertise it this time around. Let me tell you about something that's also not advertised. Have you ever played a platformer and hit the pixel perfect timing for the most accurate jump of all time? That is entirely bullshit. Sorry to pull the rug out, but we've all been fooled by a common technique found almost exclusively in platformers. That technique is called Coyote Time. The name originates from the rascally Wile E. Coyote from Looney Tunes. This is a piece of code that builds in a secret timer that allows jumps to occur after walking off of solid ground. See if you can hit the jump button within that window. Instead of falling to your death, your character will make a death-defying jump. So for all of you Celeste fans out there, you're not nearly as good as you think you are.
Which undoes all the lessons of Celeste. Thanks.
So it's an interesting... I had no idea that this existed until I was getting ready for this episode. That this is a mechanic built in. Apparently this mechanic is abused heavily in Super Mario Odyssey by speedrunners to be able to make jumps you can't make is all because of Coyote Time.
That is incredible.
So, I genuinely am fascinated that this is This is it. P-Track is just having an absolute fucking fit in chat right now, talking about he gets abused heavily during his coyote time. Rose is gonna have so many things to say to you later, Pat.
And then hashtag consent queen.
But, like, I mean, you guys have played these games. I mean, we've all played platformers. We know that moment when you hit a jump that you shouldn't have hit, and you're like, oh, man, that was incredible. I'm so thrilling, and it all comes out to just be bullshit.
I think that there's mechanics that a lot of shooters will have, too, where it's, obviously, even if it's not like a bullseye, it'll still, like,
right.
It'll take that 5-degree, shift and trajectory and hit its target that you're trying to point at. This is, I guess you can just call this revenge for your joke earlier, which was a very good joke. But they had it wasn't, I don't think it was quite Coyote time. Maybe it was. But what they did for the original Metroid Prime, and probably carried it over into the sequel, was, they kind of had the issue of, okay, we're going from a 2D, platform heavy experience and putting, translating that into a 3D space where most of the time you're like looking forward and you have like your gun arm and first person or whatever. So what they did was they implemented it when you are jumping, the camera actually like just automatically tilts down a little bit so you can see where you're supposed to be like going and like time your jumps.
That's a good mechanic, yeah.
Pretty like growing up, I never noticed it. But then when they put out the remaster a few years back, that was like an option to toggle that on or off now that you had like dual joystick controls. So I was like, they did that to me and I didn't even notice it. Like you said, they put these things in these games to just make it seem as seamless as possible.
Jerica.
Yeah.
I have one specifically for you. A mechanic that you have been lied to about.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Sorry, I'm seated. That's what I wanted to say, but duh, I'm sitting.
Regardless of where you went with a fat hog or a Steam wallet, all of you were impressed by the theatrical level of speed at which Commander Shepard from Mass Effect can sprint. What if I told you that the camera was the only thing moving, and that you were still moving at the speed of a 600-pound Walmart shopper searching for deli ham? Yes, I'm sorry, that is the truth. At the time of the original Mass Effect's launch, the consoles could not properly handle loading assets, so a quick bit of camera work and field of view tricks, all of a sudden you would feel like a crackhead chasing down Mr. Beast.
I played in like 2014, so does that still count?
Yeah, you would have. If you played it in 2014, you would have played the original still. So that would have been still moving with, it would be all camera tricks.
That is insane.
I mean, I haven't played in a long time, but at the time, a lot of games like that were like super slow, but I didn't notice it when I was playing. Like, so, I don't remember that game being slow.
There's no sprinting in Mass Effect. And that's the thing, is if you remember playing it, like, that sprint button, the camera starts moving super fast by you. Everything feels, and it's because it couldn't process. You were just had a different running animation, just the same actual speed.
That's
and
hilarious.
I think like you mentioned camera
use
tricks.
What you got to.
You do.
We learn something new every day.
I feel like I remember
Mass
it.
Effect,
I feel like I remember like when you hit the sprint button, it does like kind of pull the camera back just slightly.
Yeah, it
and
does.
Then it does a little like.
There's other games that have done that because I'm like, that's not speeding me up for real. It's just like, I mean, Destiny does a little bit of that at times. Like, there's just added animations in there that, even though you are sprinting, but there's one point that you get like a super ability, and I'm like, I'm not actually faster here. I don't think. If anything, it's like a second, and it's only because like they got these like waves coming from behind my character, so it just emulates speed. I don't know how all that works, but like, I'm someone that will not notice it for real, unless I played it. If I go back and play Mass Effect right now, like, I don't remember Mass Effect for the gameplay at all. I actually sort of just not despise it, but it is the reason why I put it down the first time. I don't play Mass Effect for the gameplay. It's okay, but like, that's probably why I was just like didn't notice. I'm like, let me get out of this as soon as I can.
It's an elevator simulator with some shooting elements.
So here's the thing: I would challenge you to go back.
Great combat. Just saying. I'm gonna stand on my ground there.
Go back in time, play the original version of Mass Effect, and then play the Legacy Edition. Because they actually fixed it in the Legacy Edition. So the Legacy Edition, you are actually sprinting. So if you go back and play both of them, you can see a very distinct difference.
Because I've played a little bit of, obviously both, and I just didn't notice it. But also, I'm easily tricked. You can trick these eyes into thinking anything.
Let's stay on the topic of tricking those eyes. We've all found ourselves in a particularly hairy gunfight in Borderlands before. If you haven't, then this is your permission slip to give Randy Pitchford your money. Don't worry, he'll probably spend it on porn anyway. In Borderlands, amongst other games, there is an effect called health gating that is built in, and within this particular game, as long as you have half of your health, you cannot be one-shot by an enemy. Health gating in a lot of games is built in to provide you with 1 HP with a death blow. That way you have a chance to either heal yourself or shoot your way to freedom. And much like a run-in with everyone's least favorite magician, getting your ass out of dodge is a welcome reprieve. Thanks, Randy. So I think here this is a very, very interesting situation because it is one of those, and it's kind of built in to give you this thrill, right? Of being like, oh, I'm like, this is such a crazy firefight. I barely escaped with my life, and it's fascinating. I like this idea of that, and I think the other part too is like, imagine a game where you just die all the time. Like getting that 1 HP to be able to heal yourself is like a very nice quality of life feature that kind of curbs the edge of the difficulty. But I never knew this before. I never even noticed that this was a thing until I saw this. Did you guys know this? Is this just new to me?
No, that's news to me. Like, when I think of near death in Borderlands, I think of them having that whole like second wind thing, but that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about just like your actual initial health bar, right? Because that's wild.
Right. Yep. So your initial health bar, you will get hit with a 1 HP on death. Give you one more shot.
Definitely. There's so much going on in that game. I would never notice that. Ever.
It is a wild thing. Like, I genuinely, in some of these, you know, I've been like, okay, yeah, like this lie is something I've picked up on or something I just knew about. But some of this stuff I'm just completely fascinated by. The sprinting one is one. The health gating is another. Coyote time. Like, these are all things that apparently like developers have been doing for years. Like, this isn't some new phenomenon, but is baked into some of our favorite games. And speaking of some of our favorite games, there is not a world in which everyone here hasn't thrown their controller across the room in frustration after being so cheaply beaten out in one of the most important races in a circuit in Mario Kart Double Dash. Yes, we are talking about rubber banding in racing games. Ever wonder how a race you were so easily beating became a fight for first with 1 lap to go? Yeah, it's because the game is actually cheating, and it makes the other racers go to light speed to catch up. That way you have a thrill of a tight finish. And I would continue on about tight finishes, but unfortunately Jake Twitchin isn't here to talk about back shots with me. Soapy's somewhere in chat right now still, and he's just fucking cranking his hog. You full permission, Jake, to do that. Yeah, so rubber banding, this is not a new phenomenon. Rubber banding has been a thing in racing games for a long time, but its sole design is to try to give you this thrill of you're in a race and it's thrilling finish and all that, but like the game will break itself to get other racers to get up to you on the final lap. Like, it is just a design, and it's fucking infuriating, and I hate it. So I think fuck you, Mario Kart Double Dash.
It makes sense for the, if we're talking Mario Kart specifically, it makes sense for the lower speed, like the 50 cc's, because those are just so easy. It's like, by design, it's easy. So it would kind of make sense for them to like maybe close in on you a bit on that. But where that really gets me is like when you're doing the 100 or the 150 or whatever else, like it's still happening. And so you're like, you have the victory in your sights. It's not even a blue shell. It's just like Peach at light speed, I guess.
And sometimes they'll even throw the other car in front of you to just be like, give you that little extra oomph in the last lap to really make you stress. And I'm like, what are you fucking doing? Trying to give every single person like heart attacks. Like, none of us are going to survive past 65.
No.
Does it happen in every race?
In Double Dash, yes. Every race in Double Dash has rubber banding. Severe
That's
rubber banding.
crazy.
Mario
I didn't
Kart
play
in
Double
general
Dash.
has rubber banding.
I don't play a lot of Mario Kart, so like, but I'm
Well-
sure it's in other games. Like, I'm sure it's in probably
yeah.
lot of racing games because like they want you to have that thrill, which makes sense. I just really don't like this episode, Kamen. It's really because not in like that, but I'm just like, I just hate that I haven't noticed any of these things, and now every game is a
It's
lie.
going to suck for you. I'm so
No,
sorry.
I do what you meant.
ruined
I
some
didn't mean
evenings.
the pause, right? I put the pause in there in a bad time. I didn't mean it like
was
that. You're like,
really
well,
fucking-
fuck.
That cut deep. That cut deep. All right.
We're just gonna cut the clip right after you say it. You don't like the episode.
Please, I hate this episode. We're going to
Yeah,
splice it
I'm
and really
gonna
make
be
you
honest,
feel
I just
bad.
hate this. No, I'm just like, man, like how I bet you have more. Just like some other. I don't know. It's just like the thing I think about is just like gambling, right? Like what's something that's being tossed in to make me do this one more time,
Right.
and like fighting for my engagement. So like just hearing that, like you want to race again. Y'all might be more aware and just notice it. Like that's something I've really just don't notice. I also just don't play a lot of racing games with other like real life
Sure.
people, but it's so fast. That's fascinating to me.
Well,
Sucks.
good news is everything I'm about to talk about next, if you didn't know about it already, it shouldn't ruin anything else. And if it does ruin something, then you are an 8-year-old child and you have never learned anything about the real world.
Thank you.
And that is because in our final segment of the evening, we will be discussing myths and childhood lies.
No, I can't do this, Kamen. Damn it. I'm just trying to. Why you did say this was gonna get deep? Why are we having to get so sad? I've never had a dumpster duo this sad.
Just wait,
You ruined
somehow
my
That's because he
life.
added me in and it made it worse.
God damn.
it's about to get so much worse. Are you?
I'm listening. I'm just sad.
all
What are you
right.
about? Is it about any of my favorite games?
Easter Bunny.
Not we'll
real.
find out. Here's
Fuck.
the thing. We're gonna start off with this one. We all had the one friend or cousin who was just a straight up fucking dick.
Why cousin?
Friend or cousin.
Sometimes you got a shitty cousin. I don't know.
got a couple.
You know, the cousin or the friend, the one who would go around telling everyone he was tongue banging the hottest girl in school. Like, he's the one who made you spend countless hours running around a truck in Vermilion City trying to spawn Mew. Now, he wasn't there, he was never there, and he would never be there.
How about swimming up and down the coast and all your you
here's
don't,
the
even,
thing.
you don't even get a Mew, you just get like a glitch. And then the music changes and it's terrifying.
And then I think it, like, warps your save, right? Or it can
It
warp
can,
your
it
save?
can, yeah.
It's...
I don't think so.
Jesus Christ, she's screaming from the background.
Audrey!
One more time.
Audrey!
Oh my god.
What are we talking about? That warping, messing up your game?
Missing
the
no?
glitch. You can
It
get the
won't.
glitch.
It won't. That's a lie.
That's a myth too?
Yeah, that's not real. Like, listen, your girl. If you ever want to ask me, was I starting a business in 2nd grade, saying all to all these little kids, which Pokemon game or which Pokemon you want in your game, bitch? I got it. Let me borrow your Game Boy. I got my Game Shark. I didn't tell them that, but I'm like $2, whatever Pokemon you want. And a lot of people want missing now. It never mess up your game though.
It turned the music
Just
freaky
saying, I
It's
made
good to
money.
know.
Then the principal found out, and then I had to stop. So it's like, why is those little kids giving Jerica money? So I give him some Pokemon.
You were running a small business. He was trying to
was.
stifle a female-owned business.
Miss
Fuck
All
that
Red. It was
guy.
actually a woman stopping another woman.
Wow.
Yeah, Miss All Red was like, no more, Jerica.
Wow.
Told my grandmother.
Internalized misogyny.
Do you think she's still alive? I think about this all
No,
the
I
time.
bet
If my
you're dead.
preachers are still alive. My
She's
principals.
ancient.
Like,
She was ancient
yeah.
when I was doing that.
I just found out the other day that my first grade teacher passed away. I was actually quite upset by the news. But okay, back to the whole point of this is that did either of you run around that truck for countless hours trying to get Mew to spawn, or did you all just kind of know it was BS from the start?
Yeah, I knew it was BS. I was really into that kind of stuff. Game Shark.
I don't know that I heard the truck one. I thought that you had to get the Squirtle and like go up and down the coast, but like that's how I kept getting missing. No, I thought that was like a Mew
That's
trick.
the one I heard of. Like there was like something that you had to do, spin around 3 times. Like no, let's get you a Game Shark or whatever. Put in those codes.
Down B keeps him in the Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
Sure doesn't.
Nope.
Sure doesn't.
There is a way to glitch it where you can get the Master Ball, like duplicate the Master Ball in the original games. I just could never figure it out. But that was a myth that is confirmed that you can do that. But Mew's not there. Now, Mew does show up in the game code, but you do have to use you have to basically break the code in, but it is in the game. And
It
that's
was
not
like
going to be
a contest at the time. How you got Mew is like going to some kind of situation. I forgot how they actually released it in the game, but it was like something they did in Japan.
interesting.
I thought they probably had like little codes that they would hand out for the first Pokemon movie or something too. I feel like.
Yeah.
This won't be the last time we talk about this. Now, one of the things, and this is a myth that kept popping up when I was doing research. We're not going to talk about it in depth, but I do feel like it's worth getting out of the bag now.
Marilyn Manson sucked his own dick.
Very well could be true. Do you know there's a whole theory about the fact that everyone knows that?
Everyone knows that
rumor, but no one knows where it started.
Pre-internet too.
Yeah, no one knows where it started or how it was spread, but everyone knew that rumor. We're getting sidetracked.
I have one more rumor. Can I ask if y'all know about it?
Yeah.
Well, it was like in Atlanta. Like there was some haunted house and it had like 10 layers to it, and like there were snakes on one level. And like this level, and like if you got to the top, you won like $1 million. That was in my school, and I was like, man, it's so close. It's only in Atlanta. Big like a tower, haunted tower terror with snakes.
Well, I mean, Patrick and I are from Atlanta, and
you remember that?
I know there was.
Was that just in Alabama?
I think it was just in Alabama, at least for that.
Oh, well, damn. I was just wondering, did y'all ever hear about that? Was it just because I was in Alabama and Atlanta was near?
I think it was Alabama. That's what I love. That's what I love about Alabama is that Atlanta is this exotic land. If you're from Alabama, you think of Atlanta like you think of New York. Like people in Atlanta think of New York like New York City.
It's true.
People in Birmingham are like, do you know what they got? You know what they got in Atlanta?
I want to see.
They got
real.
strippers with big old booty cheeks, which we do have strippers with big old booty cheeks. Believe me, I have seen them. I have heard the song of 1,000 cheeks clapping. Okay.
Jesus.
We're moving on to the next one. You ready for this? Men in Black, Hallucinations, a CIA plot to create an army of Ritalin-addicted children. All of that and much, much more on today's episode of Polybius, the Nightmare Arcade. And while that sounds really fucking cool, the truth is much, much boring and much more neckbeardy. Now, around the late 90s, in the heyday of the internet forum, before the likes of Reddit and before a green cartoon frog became the new symbol of neo-Nazis, why do we think Jake is bald? Makes you wonder. There was Polybius. Well, more of the idea of Polybius. Now, Polybius, if you believe those basement dwellers, was a secretive arcade machine that came out in a few Portland arcades in the early 80s. People who played the arcade were said to have had abstract dizzying episodes due to the geometric gameplay. Now, these same people were then stalked by the government agents and potentially even aliens. Well, after a lengthy investigation, it came out that Polybius was more Polybia bullshit than anything else. Or at least that's what the government wants you to think.
I do love the story of Polybius because it's wild.
Yeah.
Because aren't there there's pictures of the arcade in, a bar or whatever else, in Portland and
Yeah.
It was so much buried by the CIA. Those kind of almost cryptid style games and arcades. Those stories always get me. I love it.
To answer your question, Patrick, yes, this is a biblical story as well. We're also now a Christian podcast. After everything I said about 5 minutes ago, we've all converted. Thank you, Cog, for helping us make it through this these trials and tribulations.
Yes, sir.
Jerica,
Yes.
did you ever hear of Polybius? Was this ever something that was like a rumor to you as a kid?
No, I was just hearing about the haunted house in Atlanta that had like 7 layers. So like I didn't hear about that and where I was from. We just knew about that haunted house with the snakes.
No, the thing is with Polybius is I actually so Polybius, according to the myth or legend, is that it came out in 1981 specifically.
That's
And
why
so
I
it was
don't know
a
about
little
it.
bit, yeah, it was a little bit before my time, but the story of Polybius, I think there's a full-blown documentary about it, is actually really fascinating. Like people were making fake arcade machines and like painting them with like a Polybius logo and stuff and like posting those pictures on the web. People thought it, and like imagine this is early days of the internet. So it's like really hard to like fact check anything at that time. I mean, shit, it's hard to fact check things now. I mean, half of the United States doesn't fact check anything. So like, imagine you tell them there's an arcade machine that's gonna turn us all into like, I don't know, fucking zombies or some shit. I don't know.
I think they'd be okay with it as long as it doesn't provide vaccinations to children. They probably let it slide.
Enough. Yeah, fair enough. You just walk up and get the jab right away.
I need a found footage movie with this as inspiration.
Ooh,
That'd be cool.
We can
I need
get
more
our money
video
together.
game horror. Like
Get the
Oh, yeah.
money.
Did
found
you guys ever
footage
watch?
shit.
Did you guys ever watch that movie? That movie Stay Alive. That was the video game horror movie.
No.
It sounds familiar. I might have. Like I've seen some off. It sounds like a weird thing. I feel like not a lot of people.
A
say-
2000s B horror film called Stay Alive. I want to believe that all these people are like they're like get sucked into a video game, or they're like their bodies, they're playing a virtual reality game, and if they die in the virtual reality game, they die in real life or some shit like that.
The Matrix?
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. It was pretty much the Matrix, yeah.
This is just the Matrix with extra steps.
The Matrix with extra steps.
I want
Let's
to watch this. I'm sold.
Is it on Tubi? Can you check real fast to see if it's on Tubi?
It's free on Hoopla, whatever that is.
I've
You ever heard
Hoopla.
of Hoop-
What
I've heard
the
of a
fuck
Hoopla.
What is the cost to purchase a copy of Stay Alive? Let's find this out.
You
if
can
you
rent
even
it
get one.
for like $4.
Ugh,
You got
I
the
don't
movies.
rent
You got the
anything.
tubies. You got the
All right, let's
voodoos.
see. Okay,
There's
I
too
think
many.
you can get it potentially. You can get it on Poshmark right now, on Blu-ray, which is definitely bullshit.
Let's see if I can
Okay.
trade some, I don't know, some bras for
You
a
can.
copy
Oh
of this
no.
game.
Okay, you can get it pre-owned at Walmart for $14.90. The unrated director's cut. So,
Oh shit.
there you
Okay.
have it, folks. Hoopla, the way to rent movies. Okay, moving on. Let's be honest with ourselves. The only Mario brother slinging any hog is Luigi. That stumpy chode-ass Mario is a real piece of shit. Ever seen him jump? Sad. Luigi is a goddamn goat, which means that when Mario 64 dropped, everyone wanted to play as the green shirt clad honk cranker. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. Or was he? It definitely seemed like he was. I mean, they put a goddamn message in the game that read, L is real, 2401. No one knew what the fuck that meant, but everyone was determined to figure it out. IGN even went so far as to put a $100 bounty out for anyone that could prove he was real. And for those not in the know, $100 in that year was like $47,000 in 2026 money. Shockingly, no one could find him. That's not to say he wasn't there. Before the game launched, he was. Everyone's favorite salaryman uncle, Shigeru Miyamoto, actually had him removed before the launch of the game due to hardware constraints. Now, the good news is that we would finally get him in the superior 2004 DS remake alongside his fat not brother Wario. And one might say, well, Kamen, Yoshi's in the game. Here's the thing. Myth confirmed Yoshi is in the original Super Mario 64. You just couldn't play as him. But Luigi. Did you guys ever try to hunt Luigi down? I did. I 100% did.
I don't think I did. Like I know that sign rings a bell. Mm-hmm. I remember it being a thing that people like were trying to find him, but I didn't remember like the numbers afterward. Were those ever deciphered?
No, I don't think anyone knows what that meant exactly. There was also a myth that was basically like if you could collect 101 stars, that was how you unlocked Luigi is getting 101 stars. There were so many different things of like how you unlock him. And there's, you can go online, you can actually see Luigi's like character model. Like he existed. He just didn't exist in the game we got.
It wasn't the year of Luigi at the time.
No, it was not.
Couldn't do it.
I fear as though we will never go back to the year of the Luigi. They've kind of cursed his name in the Mario movies.
Really?
Mario movies don't do my man good. They don't do my man good. You know?
I like him. I think he's fun.
Jerica, did you ever play Super Mario 64?
Yeah, I played enough.
Enough.
It wasn't like my favorite, so like we've had this conversation, not here, but we have like me, Josh, and Kayla. Like even last week talking about Sunshine. Like I just didn't gravitate towards Mario with when I got a Nintendo 64. Like I was just all in on like Pokemon.
You were really
I played
big
this
on Bugsy 3D.
I did actually. Conker's Bad Fur Day, like all of those weird things. Like I was picking up and playing. Showed that to Audrey the other night. She didn't. She's never heard of that. Not in the N64, but you know what I mean. I was just playing everything else. But yeah, like we've never seen Luigi before we even have we seen a 3D model of Luigi before this game? No.
I don't think so.
Why was everybody looking for him? Like, I know he's another like 2D games, but like, is he that big of a fan? Like, were people just hungering for Luigi? Is that the thing?
He's got that hog.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a big enough reason to look for him. I need something bigger.
Well, Jerica, you don't like hogs.
You need something bigger than Luigi's hog?
I do. Like, who's looking for him in this game? Who wants him that bad?
God, look, I'm telling you, I hunted.
That's a good question.
Down. Here's the thing. No, it's legit. The problem is that I, as the younger brother, always had to play as Luigi when we would play. Because, you could play 2-player mode. And second player was always Luigi. So I had to play as Luigi. So not getting the ability to was one of those depressing things. So when I heard from a friend at school that if you did these things, you could get him, of course I went and spent countless hours trying to. Lo and behold, not even fucking there.
Isn't that crazy? We haven't gotten like a 3D Mario that's 2-player, or am I just like totally just like go to sleep, Jerica? You're not forgetting anything.
Super Mario, what is it? Super Mario 3D World? Is that a game?
Yeah.
That one is 2-player. You can do that co-op.
I think that's up to 4 maybe on that one. Up to
4, yeah.
What game is that? Why is it just
Odyssey
blending in? Why is it just like melt into my brain?
3D World was, I think, originally on Wii U. They brought it over to the Switch and added that Bowser's Fury thing. That's apparently really cool.
Bowser's Fury rules. It's great.
And then
it's a great add-on.
Odyssey was
I'll have to check that out. Yeah.
2-player.
That's cool.
The second player could play as Cappy in Mario Odyssey.
That don't count. Gross. That
wants to fucking play as Mario.
That's grody. I hate it. I never want to be the hat. Ugh.
Not related to lies, I guess. Well, like maybe if you count menu phrasing as lies, because Star Fox 2026, loved it. I've like played through it for like a week straight. I just replaying it. It was so much fun. And on the menu, there's like a 2-player option or like a co-op option. So I was like, that's cool because like the kids think this looks fun, and so I can just give them one of the controllers and whatever. No, it's like one person flies, the person shoots. I'm like, no.
Get out of here.
This is like a fucking like 3-legged race. Why am I? No, this is ridiculous. I'm not doing this.
I don't even know if I would even call it a 3-legged race. It's more like pushing around. Never mind. Sticking with the Nintendo 64 a wee bit longer. Let's cut to the fucking chase. We all fucking slobbed all over our cartridges, right? Like, oh, my game looks a little jank. Blow the fuck out of it. It's Operation Deep Throat. We're not talking politics. We're talking blowjobs. Nintendo 64 edition. Do you think there's porn for this? No, stop. Don't answer that. The myth is that if you blew air into the cartridge, it would dislodge dust. And that wasn't just dumb, it was actually really fucked up because it would make your game even worse. Now, our prepubescent saliva getting all up in that shit would lead to erosion or worse, not being able to play Mike Piazza's Strike Zone. That joke was specifically written just for Patrick. It's true, though. Most N64 cartridges are completely unplayable today because my degenerate and highly traumatized cousin went around swapping spit with a plastic puck for fun.
That was like the way to do it. Like you would do it for the SNES cartridges too. I think that they maybe like didn't they put out like an instructional video for the SNES of like how to actually get dust out of the inside of the cartridge?
Probably. I mean, you're supposed to use like a Q-tip and alcohol on the Q-tip or something like that.
Yeah, no
so
one
you're
knows
not
doing
supposed
that.
to slob on its knob. All of that, yeah, just getting all your spit up inside of it. It's not. And the truth is, like I was reading, it's like a lot of N64 games, if they weren't kept in pristine condition, and you were like get secondhand, a lot of them are fucked up because of things like essentially water damage to the core because of all the spit and cum.
Yeah.
Correct.
I watched some of those YouTube like cleaning videos of like old consoles and games. Like Audrey was showing me some of those, and like they do have a lot of rust and some weird looking things. Like the guys having to clean. Yeah.
Don't turn on the black light.
What does cum look like after 30 years stuck to an
What do
electrode?
you think that jar with the My Little Pony in it? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? The jar with the My Little. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
Oh, Cog's trying to end the episode. We're talking about the fucking.
The
Talking
jar.
about the My Little Pony jar. Fine. I don't know. I guess you guys aren't going to pontificate of what that jar looks like now. It's fine.
Do you know how I learned about the jar?
Please tell me.
Is because of Elden Ring, and people were like kept making jokes about putting the what's her name? Ronnie, right?
Yeah. Rainy.
Yeah.
Ronnie,
Whenever
Randy,
you like find her
Randy.
doll form.
Randy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy.
No.
And people like, I'm gonna put that in a jar. Like, what does that mean? Oh no.
No.
Like,
No. I really want to know though, like, does the jar still exist?
I'm not gonna answer that question.
It's like,
It's not in my basement.
well, it's not either. Guys, we got one more. This is the last one. The very last childhood myth. And then tonight's episode's finally over, and the two of you can go home. You can be set free like a pair of doves, or like that Willy, the killer whale from the movie Free Willy from the
Love
1990s.
that movie. That cake looks so good in that movie at the beginning.
Yeah. Okay,
You know,
can we
like
talk about
birthday
the cake in Matilda? Like, if
Yeah,
I
that
was that
cake
fat
too.
kid, I'd do the same thing, you know? Just fucking get my face right in.
Best cakes in movies. Next episode.
Best cakes
Now
in
we're
movies.
talking cakes, or are we talking cakes?
Well,
you to
Jarek and I got caked up last week.
True.
You know what? We did. Damn.
We did get caked
Shit.
up.
Got a lot of
We
cake
did
on the
get
brain.
caked up. We did. It should come as no surprise that many boys hit puberty while playing Final Fantasy VII. Whether it be Tifa's triangle-shaped chesticles or Aerith's beautiful ponytail, I don't know. Don't ask me. Boners do weird things. As you can imagine, at the midway point of the game, and this is a massive spoiler, so if you don't know what happens in Final Fantasy VII, there's no saving you. This is like one of the biggest things to ever happen in a video game. So if you don't want to hear what happens, just turn the episode off now, if you haven't already, which... 10
What if
to
you're on the
15 minutes
episode?
ago.
Like, I haven't beat
You
the
would have,
game,
like-
but I know the climax. Is that what we're saying? Is that how the
Climax.
professional... The
This
climax?
Is not this is the climax of
I don't
disc
even know
one,
the
I
end of the game,
believe.
Kamen. I actually haven't. So don't ruin it for me. I'm on a journey
No,
right now.
no, you don't. I don't think that this matters.
This is in the
too
middle of the
much.
game.
This is the middle of the game, but then again,
Yeah, that was in
whatever's
the second one.
happening in Anti-Birth is just whatever
That-
the third game's gonna do. I don't know.
Okay, I'm just making sure the middle of the game.
I don't know
that's
how
what
to
I'm-
do this with you on this episode if this
God
hasn't
damn-
happened. I don't know if this happens in the game.
How do you spoil the ending of the game? No one ever spoils the ending. They
Well, this
spoil
should
the
be
middle.
the ending of the game.
Okay, yeah, I trust
This is
you.
literally
You
the
keep acting
middle
like
of
it's
the game.
Yeah, that's why I was like, long as it's in the middle, we're good.
How the fuck? Chat is having a meltdown right now.
I knew it would. I don't know. I don't normally get weird about spoilers, but I do with this one. I'm like,
I think it's just because of all the remakes, because like, you know.
This is crazy because like literally, I have never been spoiled with how this game ends ever. Yeah. I just knew about the climax. I want to say that
in
again.
Chat, can someone in chat tell me if the big thing that happens in the middle of the original game happens at the end of?
I'm pretty sure it does. And
did you
I'm good
play
with the middle
new games?
I just said I'm good with the middle stuff, just not the end stuff. I said that like 5 times.
I don't know if
I'm
the
good with the middle stuff.
Okay.
May I?
I'm good with the middle stuff.
If you're about to talk about what I think you're talking about, the scene does occur toward the very end of Rebirth.
Okay, so it does happen in Rebirth.
Yes. So if
we're gonna do this now.
If people have rolled credits on Rebirth already, then they have seen a version of what you're talking about.
Where were you 5 minutes ago when Jarek and I were screaming at each other? You're like a sad kid in the middle of a divorced parents'
it's the middle
fight.
of the game still. They got one whole other 70-hour game to make, I'm sure.
I was waiting to hear what Jerica, like, what she had said about what she knew.
Right, okay, so yes, if you've rolled credits on Rebirth.
The climax.
Good. The climax of Rebirth.
For 3 times.
If you haven't, and you're listening audio or in the chat, we will wave at you in the chat. In audio, just fucking go. This is the end of the episode.
Someone pin it.
Aerith gets straight up staked by Sephiroth, and not in the sexy way. And of course, all of us would go to the ends of the earth to revive our queen. This was the catalyst for many a hoax. Go find the Earth Harp, go find the Desert Rose, max all your stats, do some random ass, side quests and things in a certain order, and she'll come back. They even gave you a thing where there's a moment where she's like just standing there, and everyone was like, oh. But then if you go watch Advent Children, the movie, that's the follow-up that follows directly. What?
I don't want to know anything.
On what?
I haven't seen the movie. Yeah.
Okay, well, Advent Children's not going to be following.
I'm scared.
Okay.
I don't normally get this way about anything except this one game.
Did you take your headphones off?
Tell me when. Can I put them on?
I'll tell you in a minute. She's a ghost, okay?
I got scared.
Either way, she's not coming back in the game. In Final Fantasy VII, the original. Now, here's the thing. With all the theories and everything that they're doing with the remakes, there is definitely a realm in which she may have a resurrection in the following game. There's always a chance that can happen. But on the original game, that didn't happen. And I can tell you, it absolutely ruined my poor little life when that occurred. It was sad. I was sad. Everything was sad. She was like one of my first childhood crushes. I was an Aerith guy. Jake was a Tifa guy. You can see how we both turned out. Neither one of us are right, but I'm a little bit better than he is, so... that's all I'm going to say. I'm
whatever that dog is. That's my kind.
Yeah. Red?
Red 13.
Yeah.
There
Red
we go.
13's fucking great. Here's the thing.
Red 13? Oh.
Final Fantasy VII is a fantastic game. And even if you can or can't save Aerith, it doesn't fucking matter. Because the truth of the matter is, the world is going to lie to you constantly. It's going to tell you a bunch of bullshit. It's going to do things to trick you into think that other things are happening. All that matters is that you can go online right now and you can buy Trump coin. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking another lie. I want to roll tonight. Guys, God. That's all I've got. If you don't have anything else to say about this, then that's that. I'm so thankful that you were all here with me. And then I was able to do one more episode of ruining people's lives.
I'm feeling it's not the end of it.
I don't know. After that one joke, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a talking to. I'm going to get a talking to. So...
Oh, man.
What I will say is that it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. It was my pleasure. If you enjoyed the show, like we said at the top of the hour, you can go to our website, www.dropindropoutpod.com. There you can find merch. You can find links to all of our shows, to the podcast, to our Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, it is so popping, so hot with chatter that I have just given up on following it. and I just try really hard to play along. But we love you guys. We're thankful that you all showed up with us and spent your Thursday evening with us. Hopefully we put a little joy in your life. Jarek, any last parting words you'd like to give the people at home?
I drew you earlier.
Oh yeah? Can you show me?
Yeah, you want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Fuck, this is gonna be bad. You know, there's a lot of likeness to it. Here's what's crazy is I think you gave me glasses.
There's a lot of likeness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also looks like he's dying. All right, well, that's enough about Jared Cog. Anything you want to tell the people at home?
Thanks for being here. Go check out dropandropoutpod.com. Come join the Discord. Come watch the things. Come click on the buttons. You know?
It's a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better.
Your lips look like a little peanut. It made I need to make them.
They do. In real life, they look like little peanuts.
Salty.
Folks, like I said before, it was a pleasure. We'll get to see if I get to do another episode again. If not, then what a fucking way to go out, right? Y'all have a good one. Everyone wave at the camera and say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.